Today we're going to look at my fastest lap from the first session at Palm Beach.
Here we go. So this is just past start finish.
It's like a little S here, back and forth. And you kind of come on the gas pretty aggressively for this left-hander and swing out wide to the edge.
The edge. That last cone, he starts to turn in. Now the instructors did talk about this water here on the left, and to not go over that, right? I mean, they said the curb was super slippery.
Right, yeah, they said that they're trying to avoid the curbs because they're pretty slippery, so that's kind of why I'm pretty wide on most of the turns and don't hit the curbs like you usually should. Coming here, I went probably too wide on this.
Yeah, this one's definitely too wide. I don't think you ever got close to the apex on that one. But it's a jib nice for this next turn here, which it looks like.
This is like the S again, another S.
Again, yeah, you missed that apex there. So you can really tell how you do start to improve over these sessions.
Right. And then it's right at this final corner and then back on the straight. And then here, even though this is my fastest lap, I did let someone go by. Buddies with his EF.
It was loud as hell.
Yeah.
So the straight, I think you got up to, it was about 90 miles an hour. 91. Yeah, maybe a little over 92-ish. And then stab the brakes, headed down.
Second to last turn. It's a big sweeper. It's pretty hard with these sweepers to really get around them effectively. And then you just blast it on this last little turn to start finish here, which is coming up right.
All right, so now we're gonna get a little bit more in depth and try to look at each corner a bit more and see what happened. So this first corner here, this is just after the start finish.
Right.
Getting into this braking zone, what were you thinking? Like, this was your very first session.
I mean, very first session, I was very confused, to be honest.
Right. I remember you saying that.
I think with this is my 5th lap, which was the fastest of the first session. So I started to get my bearings. At this point, I think I was probably pretty hard on the brakes and, using a lot of engine braking.
When you were downshifting.
So.
Yes, there you go, downshifting. What was that, to probably 3rd or 4th? It looked like maybe you went to 4th.
Probably, I think it might have been 3rd. I might have went down one before the turn. I go down to 4th, and then maybe right before I go to 3rd.
Maybe just missing that apex there, but pretty close. This one you're pretty right on.
Right. You got to come out on the other side of the track here to get this apex.
Right, so you hit that apex well, and then like you said, you're pushing out far out wide. 1, 2, 3 cones right on that 3rd cone you started turning in.
I feel like I should have gone wider here. I'm not really sure. Kind of go out and then come in.
I was wondering that, like, if you stay a little further out.
Because I think those 3 cones that come up before this.
That was the one.
Right. I think I needed to just start coming in harder right there on that cone.
Right, because you're supposedly, that's where you want to be
come
turned in.
Some cones were for braking, some were turn-ins.
Those double cones were braking, right?
Yeah, it'd be like 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, but I mean, that water was there, so you...
I was pretty worried about the water. I really didn't want to spin. Because then you got to come in and it kind of ruins the whole thing, and obviously I didn't want to crash either, so I was being cautious. I mean, because the first session I really was like driving like I'd never been there before.
Right, it's totally new. I mean, I don't blame you at all. We're going over this just to look back and see, what had happened. Like, when it's all happening in real time, you probably didn't notice any of this.
I mean, I did feel like, oh, I was probably not very fast. And part of the first session was me trying to figure out the gearing too for each corner. What gear is the right one to be in to get out of the corner quickly.
There's that other cone, supposedly the apex there.
Go pretty wide here, and then I start to come in.
Well, did you see those 2 cones off on the far left there? That
Maybe.
were just there?
Yeah.
I wonder if that's that point where they want you to start.
To start coming in.
See, right up here.
See, yeah.
1, 2. And then I wonder if maybe you start turning in a little later than what you did. You know, it's funny, talk about that racing line guy.
Yeah.
If you haven't watched the channel, was it Motor Trend?
It's on Motor Trend, yeah.
Motor Trend, the racing line, Randy.
Yeah.
He's awesome. He talks about with the front wheel drive, to help the car rotate more, actually start to turn in later. Like a rear wheel drive, you'd come in completely straight, do your braking, then do your turn in. But he actually talked about with the front wheel drive where you come in a little later, hit the brakes, but then do a bit of trail braking, let off, and start to turn. So you're actually turning later than what a rear wheel drive would. Put it on this back straight, go into those S's, see those cones there. I did 3, 2, 1. Turn in. There was water there off on the right. I know you can't see that too well in this image.
I still could have probably gotten closer for sure.
That one, see, again, with that cone, I think you started to turn out just a bit too early. This cone right here, and you're heading out already. And that allows you to gain more speed. Our buddy Juan, what's up Juan? He talks about corner exit and how in like even go-karting it's so important, but you know, it transfers, it scales up. When you get that good corner exit and come out on this huge straight, he talked about being what, 110 miles an hour? I think you got to around 92?
95, I think was my fastest.
95, so there, you know, there's possibly some time to be gained there.
Sure, I think so. And then this big sweeper, I think was way too wide.
Yeah.
They come out really close to the pit entrance.
Oh yeah, and that kind of ruins your top speed, your angle to gain speed through that. And back on the start, finish. So that was the Trav's fastest lap of his first session. Remember, that is his very first session out racing, and I think he did a great job. Again, we're just going over it and seeing what he could do better for next time.
Yeah, it was definitely pretty confusing that first session, I would say. I was always just trying to figure out everything all at once, braking, gearing, and the racing line. So it was pretty nuts, but I do improve as I go along, so that's good, obviously.
Stay tuned for those videos coming up.